107 years, more than a century of worship, more than a century of prayer, more than a century of lives forever changed by Jesus Christ. Since 1919, Emmanuel Missionary Baptist Church has stood as a beacon of hope in Indianapolis, proclaiming one unchanging message: Jesus Christ still saves. What began with a small group of faithful believers has become a thriving ministry because generation after generation trusted God to do what only He could do. Through every season, every challenge, every victory, God has remained faithful. Throughout our history, God has raised up faithful shepherds to lead Emmanuel forward. From Reverend William Martin to Reverend Albert Batts to Reverend Frank Roy Hatcher to Reverend J. Curtis Davis, and today through the visionary leadership of Pastor Darrell K. Webster. Each generation is built upon the faith of those who came before. When circumstances forced Emmanuel to leave one church home decades ago, the congregation marched into a new sanctuary singing, "Look where the Lord has brought us." And those words still tell our story today. In 2004, Emmanuel marched once again into this beautiful sanctuary, not simply celebrating a new building, but celebrating the faithfulness of God. And since then, many have become part of the Emmanuel family. Lives have been transformed, families restored, children nurtured, leaders developed, and the gospel continues to change hearts every week. But Emmanuel has never believed that ministry only happens on Sunday mornings. Church isn't simply where we gather, it's how we live. Every day of the week, Emmanuel is committed to caring for the whole person, spirit, mind, body, and family. Children discover God's truth through Children's Church. We share the gospel through the Trackers for Christ ministry. Marriages are strengthened weekly. Families are restored. Our prayer ministry and prayer line reminds us that God still hears and answers prayer. Those struggling with addiction find hope through recovery ministry. Families walking through grief discover healing through our grief ministry. Individuals receive encouragement through our Shalom mental health ministry. Cancer patients and caregivers are supported through Saints Advocating for Cancer. Women encourage women through Sisters for Sisters, because everyone matters to God, and everyone matters to Emmanuel. Our ministry reaches beyond these walls. We mentor young people, serve our neighbors, feed families, partner with schools, invest in fathers, disciple young men, walk alongside those rebuilding their lives after incarceration, provide hope to communities where hope is desperately needed, because the gospel isn't meant to stay inside the church, it's meant to transform the world. That impact now far reaches beyond Indianapolis through missionaries, broadcast ministry, boot camp initiatives, and partnerships around the world. The message of Jesus is being shared across our nation and throughout the nations. What began with a handful of faithful believers now reaches lives across the globe. For 107 years, God has written a remarkable story, a story of faith, perseverance, and a story of grace. And while we celebrate where God has brought us, we believe that the greatest chapters are still ahead, because our mission has never changed: to be saved, to serve, and share the joy of Jesus. So as we celebrate 107 years, we honor every pastor, every leader, every volunteer, every member, every family whose faithfulness helped build this ministry. But above all, we give glory to God for every soul saved, every prayer answered, every life transformed, every door He opened, every mountain He moved, every victory He gave. Because if the Lord has done it for 107 years, we know He will continue to lead us into the future. The best is yet to come.